What's going on, guys? It's the Coder here, and today we're going to be attempting to fix this TurtleBeach Air Force Stealth 300 headset. Now, this headset was purchased from a car boot by my sister, and she paid £3 for it. So £3 translates to around about $4 US, and the reason she only paid £3 for it is because it's damaged. So I'm going to take it out of the box and just show you what we've got here. So we've got the main headset, we've got the little booklet and the accessories that was included, the silica gel which you should never eat, and we've got the USB charging cable. It also came with the original box. Now this was purchased from Dixon's Retail. It's not that old. In fact, the sticker on the back says it's got a date somewhere, 9th of December 2018, so I'm hoping you can make that out. So we've got 09/012/18, which is the British date format for 9th of December 2018. Okay, so the reason, like I say, that this was only £3 was because it was damaged, and it's damaged in the form of it's got no headphone jack. So it's got no 4-pole 3.5mm jack. So we're going to be attempting to add a new jack to this today and try and get this working for my sister. And I'm just going to put the rest of this away. Now, I don't know if I can test this through USB, and unfortunately the cable is not going to reach my USB ports. So I'm just going to go ahead and presume that it works. And we're going to try and fit a new headphone jack, like I say, for my sister, so her son can enjoy this pretty immaculate headset. It's in really, really good condition. Like I say, she paid £3 for this, so an absolute bargain if I can get it working. The volume buttons seem okay. The microphone clicks and locks, so there's no damage. I know these are very fragile. A friend of mine actually has this same headset, and he broke the mic off it just by knocking it into something. I don't know exactly how it happened, but he broke the mic off it. But it's in really, really good condition. It looks like it hasn't been used much, and if it has been used, it's been well looked after. So, like I say, my sister's son, my nephew, is going to be enjoying this if I can get it working for him. So hopefully we can do that today. So she paid £3 for the headset, and I had one of these 3.5mm 4-pole jacks lying around. This is the one that you solder on. So you unscrew the boot there, and you can solder on the connections to the jack here. So what I've got loaded up on the computer is a schematic of the headphone jack. The reason I use this is because I can just never remember which one it is. So if we're looking at the headphone jack with the soldered pins on the right, then we've got the ground pin just here. We've got the left channel next to that, we've got the right channel next to that, and then right at the very end is going to be the microphone. Now the difficult part about this is going to be finding out the colour coding for the wires on the actual headphones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take away some of this outer sheathing, and I'm going to do some continuity tests. Now the way I'm going to do this is with my multimeter. So I'm going to put it into continuity mode, and I'm just going to check the connections and see what wires go to what channel and so on. So I'm going to first of all start off by stripping back some of this sheathing. So I don't know where my Stanley knife has gone, my X-Acto knife. I've got one of the blades here. This is very dangerous, so don't do this. And if you do it, be very, very careful. So I'm just going to strip back. I'm going to strip back more than I actually need, and the reason for this is because I want to use some of this for continuity first, and I don't want to risk ruining the cables. And this blade is very, very blunt. Okay, I think that's broken through. So like I said, be very, very careful if you do this. Even though this is pretty blunt for this kind of job. These will still rip straight through your hand like butter. I've actually got a scar on my hand right there where I had to have 3 stitches because I was very, very stupid. And of course I was using a knife without having it facing away from me. Alright, so removing some of the outer sheathing, we've got, so first of all we've got some of this furry stuff here. Now this isn't needed, this is just for structural support for the cable, so we can trim away any excess support here and just remove that. I'm actually going to melt it with a lighter, and again, please don't play with fire. Only do this if you feel safe and comfortable and competent to do it. And you notice that I'm doing this very slowly, and the reason for that is because I don't want it to actually catch fire and burn my desk, even though there's several burn marks from soldering already. So we'll just melt away a little bit more of this and get rid of the excess. This is probably not the proper way to be doing things, so only copy me at your own risk. Okay, so removing that support there, we can reveal the inner cores, the inner cables, and if we unravel this golden copper coloured wire, we should get 2 wires. Okay, so as far as I'm aware, the red is going to be the right hand channel, the blue is going to be the left hand channel, and the green is going to be the mic, and then this copper coloured one is going to be the ground. That's how it should be, but of course every manufacturer is different and every manufacturer uses different colour coding, so we're not just going to assume that that's the case. So this copper one I'm going to just ravel up just so as it's not all furry and frayed, just to keep it nice and tight. And then we've got the blue core, the red core, and then here I think there's actually 2. So I think one of these may be ground for the microphone, maybe. So I'm going to retwist this green one. And the problem with these headphone jacks, because I've done these before, and the problem with these headphone jacks is the fact that you have to solder onto these wires to be able to reveal the inner copper or the inner conductive material. So what we need to do, even just for continuity reasons, we need to solder a bit, drop a bit of solder on each of these wires, just so as we can get some sort of a connection to the inner core, the inner conductive material. So I'm going to pop a bit of solder on each of these wires, and then I'm going to open up the actual headset on the left hand side, which is where all of the circuitry is going to be for the microphone and the headphones and the built-in amplifier or DAC. Okay, so I'm going to use a bit of flux. I'm just going to pop a bit of flux on something just so as I don't have to use a syringe. I'll use my little toolbox here, or a little box of bits. And the flux is just going to help the solder to flow. I've preheated my soldering iron to 480 degrees. If you're wondering what soldering iron I'm using, it's a Yihua 853D. I'll leave a link to in the description to the Amazon product page below. I'm not affiliated with Amazon. I won't get any kickback. It's just a pretty good soldering iron. Mine's a little bit beaten up now, but they are pretty decent. So like I say, I've preheated this to 480 degrees. I'm just going to drop a bit of flux around the edges of all of these just to help it flow. And you really don't need much. Okay, move that out of the way, and just so I don't burn my table anymore, I'm going to do this on this blade thing that I have here, and I'm just going to dab a little bit of soldering iron, a little bit of solder onto my soldering iron. And I need something to weigh this down. I don't have a helping hand, so it makes my life a hell of a lot more difficult, to say the least. I'll tell you what, let's burn a bit of this solder off, and let's use this as a weight. Okay, so let's drop a bit of solder onto these connections. Alright, so we've got some solder on each of these connectors, and that was very difficult because my soldering iron is playing up rotten. I need a new actual soldering iron for the workstation. I really should buy one, but never mind. So we've got some solder on each of these connections now, and we can do some continuity tests. So I'm going to go ahead and get my multimeter. We're going to go ahead and open up this headset, and then we'll find out what wire goes to what connection.
A few moments later.
Alright, so we're not going to be able to do any continuity tests. The reason for that is because every time I want something, someone decides to move it. So I can't find the test leads to my multimeter. You can tell how long it's been since I've used that with how dusty it is, but never mind. We should be able to manage without it. So I'll go ahead and take that pad off there, and we're going to see what screws is on this. And it looks like normal Phillips bits, which is great because I have a Phillips bit right here. So let's go ahead and open this up. And we'll see what we're working with. And there we go. So we have 4 Phillips screws, and we'll take a look inside here, and it looks like we've got a schematic here, which is fantastic. Okay, so you're probably not going to be able to make this out on camera, but we've got a schematic here, and it says Augs L, GND, Augs R, Augs mic, and GND 1. So Augs L is going to be the left channel, GND is ground, Augs R is going to be the right channel, Augs mic is going to be the microphone, and GND 1 is going to be a secondary ground, which I presume is going to be the ground for the microphone. So left channel is red, right channel is blue, microphone is white, and ground is golden green. Okay, so we can work with this. So I'm going to pop that out of the way. I'm going to turn my torch off, and we're going to start popping on this connector. So let's first off start by popping that inside there just to lock it in. And we'll tighten that over there. And we are going to start soldering these connections, I suppose. So first of all, we're going to go with the top one, which is going to be the microphone. So that's white. It's actually like more of a pinky colour than white, but yeah. So we're going to go with the topmost connector first. So we're going to try and move the rest of these out of the way, and we're going to work our way down to the ground connector, which is the bottom. Okay, so we need to start off with white. So we're going to attempt to hold that there and try not to burn ourselves while we're soldering this on. So we're going to hold that there. We're going to take the soldering iron, and we're going to drop a bit of flux there to start, just to help us. So let's drop a bit of flux there. You can never have too much flux. Ouch, that hurt a little, but we've got the connection. So next we need to do the right channel, which is blue. Is it blue? It was blue, yes. So right channel blue. And again, try not to burn ourselves. But that is incredibly hot. And has that made it? It has. Okay, so next we need the left channel. And I apologise if I'm not getting this on camera. And then finally we need the ground. Ouch. Okay, so I'm going to pop a bit more flux there. Drop a bit of solder on the iron. we should be good. I just need to ground the microphone as well. I need a little bit more solder. Okay, so I think that's got it. I'm going to just double check. Just need to let it cool down a little bit. Oh, damn it. Okay. So let's give this a quick test. Let's move these wires out of the way. And let's give it a quick test. And I forgot to put the boot on. So I'm going to test it anyway. And then we will have to redo it. Okay, let's take a look. Alright, so we need and I think they may be dead. So I might need to plug them in. Because I believe these have to be charged. Or they need external power, one of the two. So let's take our power bank. And let's plug it in. Okay, so it's recognising on the power bank. And the left channel's not working, but the right is. Alright, let's quickly test the mic. So let's load up sound recorder. Or rather voice recorder. This is a mic check 1 2. This is a mic check 1 2. Stop, save, play. This is a mic check 1 2. And that works. So we probably don't have a good connection on the left channel. However, we have a good connection on the right channel and we have a good connection on the mic, and everything's grounded correctly, which means these headphones work. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just pull this out, and I've got to desolder this anyway now, because obviously I need to put the boot on before I do anything. So I'm just going to give those a snip there. Let's bugger those off. And the beautiful thing is I had this connector lying around, and it's kind of like a metallic purpley blue, so it's going to look really nice on this. So I'm going to go ahead now and just drop off these wires. And there we go. Okay.
2 hours later.
Really, dude? Okay, so it wasn't my soldering after all, I guess. So I've been going back and forth for I don't know how long now, trying to figure out what the hell was going on. And then it just suddenly occurred to me while I was soldering it for probably the 5th time, that what if it's not my soldering? What if it's just the fact that it doesn't like to be plugged in at the same time as having audio play through it? So I disconnect the micro USB and straight away it turns on and it works. So I'm just finishing up soldering this little bit now, and then I will show you what I've done. That should be good. So I'm going to snip this last bit off. And so what we've done here is we have connected up all the wires properly. Everything's soldered. We've got 2 grounds. We've got the white cable for the microphone. We've got the blue cable for the right channel and red cable for the left channel. Now my soldering is not the best, but it's not the worst either, and let's go ahead and give this a final test, and then we'll put it all back together. But actually, let's put it back together and then test it. So once the cable's on, we just screw that onto there like so. We've got a nice connection. It's nice and tight, nice and snug, and it shouldn't pull off. So let's go ahead and screw this all back in now. Let's close up that mic. We don't want to break that. Very expensive if we break that. And is that the wrong way? Okay, seems to be all back together. Let's pop the cover back on. This is the part I always hate about headphones, just getting the cover back on, because they never like to go back on very easily. And what would make this one any different? Okay. Okay, that seems to be back on. Mostly. Let's line that up. Like so. Okay, that should be good. Should be good with that. That should be fine. So, like I say, we have soldered the connections on. We've got a nice tight fit, and it tucks into the grip nicely. So we've soldered on the ground connections, the microphone connection, the left and the right audio jacks, and let's give it a test, shall we? So I'm going to try and capture the output. Let's turn this torch off. So I'm going to plug this into the phone, and we'll go to YouTube, playing royalty free music. And let's turn the headphones on. Where's that power switch gone? There. There's the right channel. There's the left channel. Well, hopefully that's picking up properly on the microphone. They are actually pretty damn loud. Yeah. That's some pretty good headphones right there. Right, let's test the microphone. I'm hoping that the microphone's working. So let's go to voice recorder, and I'm going to pop this on my head so you can see here, and I can actually hear myself through the mic, so it seems to be working fine. So hopefully you can pick this up. Let's turn down the brightness on my phone. Okay. Wow, it's 3:36 AM. This video took way longer than I expected. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. This is a mic check. Hello YouTube. Mic check 1 2. Mic check. Mic check 1 2. Let's play that back. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. This is a mic check. Hello YouTube. Left channel. Mic check. Mic check 1 2. It's a little bit quieter because it's been recorded, but mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. This is a mic check. Hello YouTube. Mic check 1 2. Yeah. Just gonna play that back in my ear. Right channel's fine. Left channel. That is incredibly clear. Yeah, I'm happy. That's one £3 set of headphones fixed. That's going to be one very happy nephew and one very happy sister who's going to owe me a huge favour. So, what I do, it's probably not safe. It's probably not the right way to do things, but I enjoy fixing things. And it gives me something to do in my spare time when I'm not programming or when I'm not working. I hope you find this at least a little bit informative. That's pretty much what my channel's all about. If you do like the video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. And it turns out that 95% of my viewers on any of my videos are not subscribed, so if you could hit that subscribe button, it would really help me out a lot. It helps the channel to get to grow and to get noticed. It's a relatively small channel, but I'm hoping to change that over the next year or so. So yeah, give it a thumbs up if you like it. Share this video if you think it will help someone. Remember to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye for now.